This is the Turf Zone Podcast, your central information and news hub, bringing together professionals from turf associations across multiple states to share things to help you in your business. Brought to you in partnership with our friends at the Virginia Turfgrass Council. This episode is sponsored in part by Sod, world-class service on demand. Visit us online at www.buysod.com. Now, let's get in the zone.
Welcome to the Turf Zone. In this episode of Virginia Turfgrass, we feature an article titled Fungicide Application Methods and Timing to Optimize Spring Dead Spot Suppression, written by Wendell, Hutchens, and David McCall, Ph.D. In the middle of summer, the weather is warm, Bermuda grass is thriving, and spring dead spot is the last thing on any turfgrass manager's mind. However, in short time, thoughts of fungicide applications for the disease will be on the forefront of many turfgrass managers growing warm season grasses in the transition zone, as these applications are typically made in the fall for suppressing SDS. But when exactly in the fall is the optimal time to apply fungicides to suppress SDS and reduce the symptoms that appear the following spring? Moreover, what are some best management practices one can implement to optimize fungicide applications for SDS? These two questions have intrigued the Virginia Tech Turfgrass Pathology Lab over the past couple of years, as many turfgrass managers throughout Virginia and the surrounding states have asked us these exact questions about managing SDS with fungicides. When do I need to apply? And how do I get the most out of my fungicide application? These are excellent questions that have not been fully answered, even though years of research between our lab and other labs around the country have been devoted to solving these challenging problems. Fortunately, the past year of research in our lab has given us some insight on how to mitigate these issues in regard to fungicide management of SDS. Fungicide Application Timing Study. A study was conducted at 2 Bermuda grass locations in Virginia to determine the optimal time to apply fungicides for SDS suppression based on soil temperature and time of year. Isofetamide was applied once at the highest labeled rate, 3.2 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet, for SDS at specific soil temperatures throughout the year. The Bermuda grass at the Chesterfield location was infested with O. cora, and the Bermuda grass at the Blacksburg location was infested with O. herpetrycha. Plots were assessed for percent SDS and treatments were compared in the spring of 2021 following a full year's worth of applications. Spring treatments at the Chesterfield location did not suppress SDS, but fall applications made between 66 and 59 degree Fahrenheit 5-day average soil temperatures provided excellent suppression of the disease. Applications made during the peak of summer, 80 degree Fahrenheit soil temperature, and in early winter, 41 degree Fahrenheit, were also ineffective at the Chesterfield location. However, the results from this study are counter to what we saw under laboratory conditions, which showed maximum fungal growth near 80 degrees Fahrenheit. In contrast, certain spring and summer treatments at the Blacksburg location had moderate efficacy against SDS. Similar to the Chesterfield location, the fall treatments had the greatest efficacy against SDS at the Blacksburg location, which holds true to the long recommended practices. Spring dead spot was suppressed by nearly all timings throughout the year at the Blacksburg location. Fungicide Application Methods Study. Tebuconazole is notoriously inconsistent in its suppression of SDS, yet it is the most commonly applied fungicide because it is affordable and has some efficacy against the disease. So our goal was to determine application methods that optimize tebuconazole efficacy against SDS on Bermuda grass. The 2 factors we evaluated were post-application irrigation, or PAI, and tank mixture of tebuconazole with a wetting agent. The study was conducted at 2 sites, Blacksburg, Virginia, and Salisbury, Maryland. O. herpetrycha was the causal agent of SDS at both locations. Plots were assessed for percent SDS and converted to area under the progress curve, which encompasses the amount of disease over a certain period of time. At the Salisbury, Maryland location in 2020, the only treatments that did not suppress SDS were the ones that had only one application of tebuconazole without PAI. All other treatments provided similar suppression of SDS. At the Blacksburg location in 2021, all treatments suppressed SDS compared to the non-treated control. 2 applications of tebuconazole with PAI suppressed SDS 86% more than 1 application of tebuconazole without PAI. All other treatments provided similar SDS suppression. The inclusion of a wetting agent did not impact SDS development at either location. Conclusions. Our data fall in line with traditional recommendations in that fungicide applications for SDS should be made in the fall and that PAI can increase fungicide efficacy against the disease. However, the timing of application can vary by location. Our recommendation is to apply fungicides for SDS when 5-day average soil temperatures are between 55 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit in the fall, and immediately irrigate the fungicide in with 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch of water. If symptoms still appear the following spring, late spring to early summer quick-release nitrogen applications are recommended to aid in Bermuda grass recovery. For all resources associated with this article, check out our show notes. And don't miss an episode of Virginia Turfgrass. Subscribe at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your shows. You can also visit us at theturfzone.com.
You've been listening to The Turf Zone. Thank you to our sponsors, including Buy Sod, world-class service on demand. Visit us online at www.buysod.com. For more episodes of The Turf Zone, visit theturfzone.com and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app.